All right. Well, I am just about to get started here. Just connecting all of my software and making sure that everything is working. If you're here with me, would you drop a comment? I'm going to try to read and keep track of at least some of the comments as we go tonight. But I would love to know where you are watching from if you are joining me tonight. And this is Ginger Williams with Queen and Company. For those of you not familiar with the sound of my voice, I'll get my camera on here in just a moment and say hello in person here. Just a couple more seconds until we officially get started here. Hello, everybody. I see lots of comments now. Hello from all over. Okay. All right. Well, welcome to my craft room, everyone. Like I said, here, Ginger Williams here with Queen and Company, getting ready to launch some amazing, incredible, fun new products that we've been waiting to be able to launch for quite a while, it seems like. And I'm so excited that the time has finally come. I am also watching on my iPad, watching your comments as they go by, so that hopefully I can answer some of them. So I just want to give a couple of shout outs to those of you joining us tonight. Janet, hello. She says, can't wait to buy the new stuff. Well, thank you, Janet. We sure appreciate the support of everyone buying tonight. We love our customers so much, and we're so grateful for your support. Maureen, hi from Utah. Cindy, hi from Utah. A couple Utah. Geraldine, okay, hi from Irving, Texas. All right, another Texas. I'm in Texas, in case you didn't know. All right. Looks like we've got lots of people online. Welcome, everybody. If you're looking for Tammy, I have to say I'm very sorry I am not Tammy. Tammy was going to be doing a live for us tonight, but hopefully you've seen in the past couple days as we've discussed the changes, Tammy will be back. She's going to help us out for National Scrapbook Day, and possibly even before then. We'll have to see what her schedule's like. She's traveling a lot these days, but she will be back. She'll be joining us from time to time to help us teach classes, and it won't be too long before she is here. So hopefully you're not too disappointed to have me instead of Tammy. But she's a ton of fun. We're so grateful to have her as part of the team, and glad that her life schedule is allowing her to be back a little more often now. All right. So tonight we have so much to go through. So let me take you over. Just let's see. Let's do some photos first. Housekeeping first. So this is our free with purchase item tonight. So if you're gonna check out all the new products, and if you spend over $50, we do have a free with purchase item. Now this is our super cute, Go Safari Fimo toppings. So there's lions, there's panda bears, there's koalas, monkeys, and some fun little leaves that are perfect for what we are launching tonight with our Go Safari kit. And this is free if you spend $50. Now, if you use your rewards or coupon codes, this is not available. This is only available for those of you not using rewards or coupon codes. It is available if you're using a gift certificate, though. And this is stackable. Every time you go over $50, you can add another one. So be sure and pay attention to the free with 50 and then free with 100, and make sure you get them added to your purchase today. All right, so let's talk about the fact that we have 3 products launching tonight. Actually, we have a lot more than 3 products. We have 3 main products launching tonight, along with several different add-ons. So first up, I'm going to talk a little bit about our Safari kit, and then its adorable, fun add-on, the Exotic Creatures. And then we will go into the Summer Loving Creative Card Kit. So that's the 3 items we're going to talk about today. Tons of details, tons of exciting new products that are going to be additions. Oh gosh, are we having trouble seeing me? I see a couple people say they can't hear the video, but some people can. Let me know if I'm having trouble with volume. I don't want anyone to miss out on what we're saying tonight. Okay, most of you look like you can. Hopefully that's an individual issue and not just something on my end, because it looks okay on my end. Okay. So let's go into my desk first of all, and I'll show you just some fun things I've been doing over the past few weeks creating with these card kits. Oh my goodness. It is some of the most fun I've had in ages to have so much new product all at once to show you. So I'm going to talk about our top row first. these are my particular projects made with the Go Safari kit. And down here is my projects made with the add-on to that kit, the exotic creatures, and then over here our Summer Loving class kit. Okay, so lots of things to show you, but let's talk about what comes in these kits first of all. So let me show you. I'm going to do a lot of just kind of jumping back and forth tonight because there is so much and it's hard to keep track of the best way to show it all to you. But let's talk about Go Safari. This is our big main kit that is launching tonight, and it has several fun options for zoo-ish or safari or Africa type animals in it. So I've got 2 pages. We've got everything from our tiger and our lion, which you can probably tell by looking at them, are made primarily by using mostly the same dyes. And then we've got the zebra, the monkey, and then just as I previously showed you, the elephant, the alligator, the giraffe, and then the rhino. And in the kit, I want to say, is it 42 dyes? Let me pull up my paperwork so I make sure I get that right. Yeah, 42 dyes. And those dyes make it possible to create all of these amazing animals. There's a better look at the components in the kit again. All of those dyes make it possible to create all of those different animals. There is a wonderful dye guide that will help you keep track of what goes where. Let me take you over to my desk again and I'll show you that. So in that kit, you have a wonderful dye guide. It helps to make it easy to figure out what you need to do to make each animal. And you'll note with this particular kit, much like our woodland creatures kit, if you love that kit, you're going to love this one too. You have the same body pieces for every single animal. It's the same shape, which means you only need one of the decorative dyes that covers up our shaker, and you only need one outline dye, and that is included in the kit. The body dye is also included for each animal. You're going to need that. But unlike woodlands, sometimes the feet is different depending on the animal, and sometimes the tail is different depending on the animal, as well as, of course, the other pieces. So if you use the dye guide, you'll be able to keep straight what dyes are needed in order to create all of the different animals. We have the same thing for the add-on. Well, we'll get to the add-on in a second, but yes, there is also the same dye guide for the add-on as well. Let me show you a little bit closer what's in the kit. Let's see. Going back to my desktop again. Okay, so there is a beautiful selection of perfectly color matched Fimo clay shaker sprinkle toppings, I guess. You have the paper pad, which is really fun, giving you some kind of boyish options there on the bottom row, as well as some more feminine types on the top row. And of course, you can mix and match those. There's no particular papers. Oh, I see Tiffany. I told you I'd shout out Tiffany. Tiffany is one of my best crafting buddies, and she's on tonight. Wanted to say hello to her. But yeah, you have lots of options for mixing and matching, all the way to pinks, all the way to your blues and greens. And then there also is available the solids. And I love the solids in this kit because not only do you have perfect matches to the pattern paper, but I really tried to make sure you had some versatile grays, browns, and even kind of a creamy brown to help make creating your animal bodies even better or even easier. So you're not hunting all over your craft room for all of the various shades of things in order to make your animals. So if you pick up the solids, it'll help you a lot in creating your animals. And if you look at my particular set of cards, you can see the shades I use, like for, say, the elephant, the sloth, the monkey, even the snout on the giraffe. That all comes from that solid paper pad. The koala, it's just much easier to have that right at your fingertips and not have to hunt all over. So I do highly recommend that solid paper pad. Okay, and then we have some, in the kit you also have your 12 foam shakers, and you have your 12 acetate covers pre-cut for you, all set and ready to go. You also have all of those toppings, those clay toppings I just showed you. And I lost my list what I was reading. Oh, there it goes. Okay, 42 dies. That's a tremendous amount of dies and gives you all of those options because you mix and match certain dies to create different animals. Like the rhino, he is made of dies from the zebra as well as from the elephant. So by mixing and matching those 42 dies, you can create this wide array of animals. Okay, let's see. Let's move you on down here. We also have in the kit the stamp set. I don't think I have a picture of the stamp set. Maybe I'll just show it to you. The stamp set has a hugely versatile amount of sentiments in it. So let me pull those up real fast. So happy birthday, little monkey. Hang in there. Hey there, party animal. So very proud of you. Hope your day is as special as you are. And hopefully you're catching our puns here. Proud. We've got that lion on there. Hope your day is as special as you are could go for many of them, but also some of the more exotic animals, like maybe the zebra. I'd be lying if I said I didn't miss you. Swinging by to say hello. I miss hanging out with you. Your birthday is something to roar about. Big congrats. Perfect for that elephant. Go get him, Tiger. When my brother was little, his nickname in the family was Tiger, so I thought about him and lots of you who have your little tigers in your family as I created this particular set. We also have some baby ones. It's a boy and it's a girl are in there if you're looking to make this into like baby animals for baby cards. What's up? Perfect for that giraffe. I could never forget your special day. We're back to the elephants again. Sending you a big smile to help you feel better. And that sentiment is really, really cute when you mix it with the alligator here. All right, snappy birthday again for that alligator. Thanks a ton. Welcome, little one. Back to our baby sentiments again. You are unforgettable. Congratulations. Hope your birthday is wild. It's been too long. Sorry. It kills me. I love that on the giraffe. We'll have to do that on the giraffe at some point. Being sick is such a pain in the neck. Again, back to their giraffe. Lots of fun things for giraffes. It's not a stretch to say you're amazing. Hope your day is unforgettable. And at the bottom there, have a perfectly wild birthday. So super versatile. You're going to cover lots of different occasions with the stamp set. And hopefully you will find it super useful as you get a lot of variety in the way you can use this particular stamp set, this particular kit. Okay, let me go back to some things now that are not necessarily in the main kit, but that you definitely want to know about. First up is that we have a fabulous, before I get further into this, which animal is your favorite? I would love to find out what your favorite animal is in this particular kit, just the main kit. We haven't got to the add-on yet. Okay, but you can also pick up some matching coordinating bling to go with this kit in colors that work well. You can pick up additional foam refills as well as their matching acetate covers. And then we have some fun new epoxy bling, these epoxy dots in these amazing and fun animal prints. So if you are an animal print fan, these are definitely for you. We also have some coordinating epoxy dots that we had developed specifically to match the colors of the paper. So if you really like that easy match way of getting your bling together, then this is what you want there. And then these are brand new. These are epoxy stickers. And you can see several of our fun little animals from this kit in sticker form, as well as some fun accents that match the papers in this kit. Also brand new, I gotta take a breath, there's so much new. We have this new title die. And I love this die because it's big. It makes a huge statement on a card. Matter of fact, let me show you this adorable card by Mary Ann. Great big impact on a card, and you can use it with or without these animals, or you could mix and match it with those epoxy stickers. I think it would look amazing with little epoxy animals peeking out around the letters, and that way you could make a faster card if you just want the title and those epoxy stickers together. But it also works on layouts because it's big. This thing is almost 4 inches across. So if you are a scrapbooker and are thinking, hey, I can use these animals on my zoo pages or on pictures of my kids or grandkids when they were little, you're in the right place for also picking up this fun title die. Lots of cute stuff that you can do with that title die. Whew. And we are still not done. Okay, this right here is also an additional add-on you can pick up, and this is the accent dies. There are, I want to think, how many dies? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 dies in this one. And this one lets you create all kinds of amazing accents that are perfect to go with the safari feel in this particular kit. And this is a beautiful example by Marianne. She's used all of those beautiful, I don't know, what would you call them? Water lilies? Dyes to hide her little alligator, just like you would find out in the wild. We have those here in Houston. Just south of us is a state park full of them, and they do like to hide in there. And then here she has used that amazing tree dye as well as the rock and the leaves to give her adorable little monkey a little home to sit in there. Gorgeous. Okay, so that is all of the potential small add-ons to the Go Safari kit. Now, you can also pick up the Safari and Exotic Creature bundle. In that bundle, you will get all of the elements in the main kit that we talked about here, as well as the add-on, the Exotic Creature Shaped Shaker kit. This one gives you 4 additional animals that use the same body and the same outline die that is in our main kit, which is why it's not sold separately. You have to have the main kit in order to use it, and so it didn't make sense to us to have to sell it separately, because if you bought it and then couldn't use it, that would make us very sad. So this kit, let me show you what your options are for this kit. These are your non-safari animals. You have your panda bear, you have your sloth, you have your koala bear, and your penguin. So now I need to know what is your favorite from these exotic animal add-ons, and if you like them even more than the ones in the Go Safari kit. I know I do. My daughter is a fan of the sloth in particular, and she made it quite clear that was the best animal in all of this kit. She's 11, and it's one of her favorites. So if you're a sloth fan, my daughter is right there, loving them with you. Let me go through and show you the a closer up look at the stamps in that kit. Pardon the extra ink on these. They are been well used this past week. Okay, it's your birthday. Let the pandemonium begin. Sending you a hug during this unbearable time. You are a quality friend. You have all the qualifications of a great friend. Better late than never. One for that sloth. Also this one too. Take it slow and enjoy your day. And another sloth one. Although technically you could use it for a lot of these animals. Time to slow down, relax, and chill. Happy retirement. And you know, if you really wanted to too, you could mask that and you could add like a happy birthday underneath instead of the happy retirement. But it's nice to have a retirement stamp. I know we had some requests for a fun retirement option, and this gives you a really great retirement option. You are stupendous. What'll you know? It's your birthday. You are the coolest, and it's beginning, I can't talk, penguining to look a lot like Christmas. Thanks, mate, and g'day, mate, for our koalas there. So lots of great sentiment options that expand the use of your kit even beyond the sentiments in the main kit. All right. What else do we have here? Let's see. I think that covers all of the add-ons to that kit. Let's take a look at a couple of samples. We already looked at a few of them with the, okay, there's Marianne's adorable monkey card. Okay, here's a look at some of the exotic creatures. Here is the panda, sending you a hug during this unbearable time. I love having card options for difficult times. It's nice to know that when you can't do anything to help somebody, you know, physically, you can do something to lift them emotionally and to let them know that you're thinking of them. Here's another fun one, a thank you card. Thanks, mate. And isn't this elephant from Marianne super cute? I love that she added the flower up there on the top of her elephant, sending you a big smile to help you feel better. There's that penguin again. While you know it's your birthday. Let's see here. Better late than never. Love that on the sloth. And I love the bright pink circle she put behind it. You can see how you can really customize this kit for your recipient by picking different papers and different colors here. There's my alligator again, snappy birthday. Another super cute penguin from Marianne. And yes, another fun giraffe. This one I like too, that we have one for, not just thinking of you in general, but, being sick is such a pain in the neck. Yeah, so a get well soon card. I could never forget your special day. Love that for birthdays. Here's another look at that title. It's a little cut off in the photo, but Marianne did a slimline card, and her Go Wild title looks great on there. I love the tiger too. The tiger, like we said before, is a mix of the lion dyes and the stripes from the zebra. All right, speaking of zebra, here is a zebra. Let's see. Fun there. Hope your day is as special as you are. Super cute giraffe again. It's not a stretch to say you're amazing. And let's see, what else do we have here? Another monkey card. And that sloth again. Okay, so I think that pretty well covers what is in the safari kit and the exotic creature bundle and all of the available add-ons. Did anyone take a poll to see which animal won? I'll have to go back and look at the comments later to see which animal had the most popular choices or most popular votes. Okay, let's go back over to my desk because I want to show you now something different. So we're going to change gears here, okay? So the Summer Loving Creative Card Kit. Let me clear my desk for a second so I can focus on just that kit for a bit. And while I do that, let me ask a question or two here. Let's see. For those of you that use an ATG gun, how often do you have to refill it? I use one from time to time depending on the situation. And I'm wondering, those of you who use it a lot, how often do you have to refill it? If that's you, drop a comment, and I will go back and read those in a little bit. Okay. So, if you were ever an attendee at any of our classes, so a Scrapbook Expo, a Creating Keepsakes, a convention, a Queen for a Day class, or Queen for a Day event, then you know a lot about what our creative card kits or creative layout kits were like. We used to use these a lot back when we were able to do classes pre-pandemic. Since the pandemic, it's been difficult for us to be able to bring those back. So we're trying something new, and if it goes well, we will do it again. But this is a test, so if you like it, be sure and let us know, and we'll see what we can do about this in the future. But this is a pre-cut, ready-to-assemble class kit, where unlike our other kits where you have dies and foam and stamps, this time we took a lot of the work and did it ourselves and tried to make it easy for you to quickly and easily walk away after a couple of hours putting some work into it with amazing shaker cards. This is what you get if you buy this kit. It's specific. You get exactly this. Everything you need to make this, barring you need to have your own card bases, your A2, white or cream or off-white. The papers that are printed in this have a slight off-white eggshell type look to them, so you need to find your own card bases. It can be, white or blank like mine, or you can add whatever colors you want. You can look at this online and decide for yourself ahead of time what you want. You also need your own adhesives. This is going to be taught live on National Scrapbook Day by me as a class, where if you order this tonight and join me on Saturday, I want to say it's the 4th. Let me double check and make sure I'm telling you the right day. May the 4th, yep. time is still to be determined, but it will probably be in the morning. We're still working out everyone's schedule for when all of us can present. Tammy, me, I believe Marianne, a few of us. So I'm not sure exactly on the time yet, but probably in the morning, where you're going to go through and step by step, piece by piece, me and my crafting buddy, Tiffany, are going to work on this kit together with you. We'll assemble it and give you all the instructions needed to make these very specific cards. Now, if I flip this over, you can see in here, you've got your foam pieces, there's acetate pieces in here, you've got your toppings, you've got some epoxy dots that match, and you can kind of see the preparations here. There are a bunch of sheets in here all pre-cut for you that you just simply have to pop out, and they pop out really easily. And then we're going to go through and just assemble this. I did all of the planning for you, I created the card layouts for you, and so there's nothing you have to do but come and have fun. And then just put this together quick and easy. Back when we used to have a bunch of creative card kits for sale, I used to call them our gateway drug. So if you have a friend or a loved one, maybe a granddaughter or a friend, a crafting friend, a daughter, a son, whoever you think might be fun, might enjoy creating cards, but maybe they've been too intimidated to come and join by buying a kit, this might be the right thing for them. It's easier to do than our full kits, and it's less expensive, and you walk away with finished product at the end of a couple hours. Hour and a half is what I'm hoping. We'll see if it goes that fast. So, questions. What kind of questions do you have about this particular kit or event? Did I cover it well enough? I hope so. But yes, maybe if you don't want to do it live, or maybe you can't do it live, can you still buy the kit and assemble it? Yes, you can. I'm filming this both live with you and separately before the event, so that there is a video for those of you that can't attend or don't want to attend live, to be able to put these cards together without having to be tied to any particular schedule. So if you want to order a bunch of these and say, hey, I've got grandkids coming in July, yep, you can do that too. I don't believe there's a limit on these cards. I believe you can order as many of the card kits as you would like. So if this interests you, feel free to grab whatever you think would be fun. If you've got some girlfriends that want to get together for National Scrapbook Day and work on this together, that would be awesome. Lots of fun options for things that we can do with creative card kits. So if you like this concept, be sure and let us know, and we'll see if we can do it again, because I miss the classes. If you've ever been to CKC Houston, or sometimes I went to Dallas for a Queen for a Day event, then I got to be there and help Tammy teach a couple of times. So I miss doing that. That was a lot of fun. And this way we can still get together online, have a class together, and come away with a finished, cards ready to give away. A finished project is always a good feeling. So that is that. Let's see. Let's see. I know Wendy's in here answering some questions, but I'm going to scroll for just a minute through some of these questions while I show you a few more photos. Here's a look at the inside of what's in that kit. You can see I've spread out all of the pages of all of the sheets in there. There are various colors that match papers in this kit. Well, let's talk about the Summer Lovin full kit, the specialty kit. So this kit is based on an upcoming full specialty kit. And when I say full specialty kit, I mean one that has dies and stamps and foam in it. That kit is coming out on National Scrapbook Day. So if you order this kit and try it on National Scrapbook Day, and you're excited that you like these shapes and want to make more of them, then the full kit will be available that weekend. Probably be launched actually Friday night before the class. And you will have a chance to be able to see the difference between this kit and making it yourself. And so if you are interested in that kit, just know it is coming, as well as all of these cards were made using our brand new foundation sets 26 and 27. Those are also launching on National Scrapbook Day. Let me show you my desk, and I'll show you a little look at what's in those dies. If you look at my samples, with the zoo kits, as well as my samples with these, you'll see a lot of new shapes. They're all from our two brand new upcoming foundations, 26 and 27. And I know lots of you are fans of our die cutting guides, where I teach you how to lay out your papers, lay out your dies on your papers of just a few papers, and then you walk away with a whole bunch of pieces that you can assemble into card layouts. So I did that with this kit using foundations 26 and 27, but I also did it with this kit, the Summer Lovin kit. So when we do launch the foundation dies on National Scrapbook Day, the new ones, you will also receive a die cutting guide that is meant only to use just those two foundation dies. So you don't have to hunt through 25 different sets of dies. You can just go to straight those two, and you will have these shapes that you can then assemble into a whole bunch of cards. It's also great if you've got a friend or somebody that has been intimidated to try Queen & Company. It's kind of almost like a beginner's kit because they often don't know where to start. But starting on National Scrapbook Day, we will have those die sets available, as well as the die cutting guide, and you can mix and match that with any kit, not just our upcoming Summer Lovin kit, but any kit, the Safari kit, the Woodlands kit, our Happy Harmony, or our older kits, any of them, and be able to jump in, use the die cutting guide, make cards from that kit using those papers, and then it's a great way to get started. Now, if you have already had a nice collection of these dies, no worries, there are no duplicates. They are all brand new, and you can enjoy that same benefit as well. Let's see. Try to think what other questions people might have. I'm going to scroll through your comments real fast on my iPad here, and let's see. When will 26, 27 be released? Probably May 3rd, probably the National Scrapbook Day weekend. That's when we'll have a chance to be able to launch those. So May 3rd or 4th. Let's see. Looks like there might be some cart issues, but I know that Wendy is working on that if there is some. Yeah. Wendy says if you're having cart issues, please email and they will adjust your cart. Kathleen, when do I sleep? Well, I didn't sleep much this week. It's been busy. Okay. Let's see what we can do here to play a little bit with these fun kits. All right, put those aside. Let me pull out my little trusty containers here. We are going to have some fun here. If you've been in the Facebook group, you have seen me post, at least hopefully you've seen me post, a little template, which I seem to have misplaced. Let's see. Oh, just moved it. It's over here. A little template. I'm going to be showing in just a minute how to make a treat bag out of just a simple 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. I've got my little 8.5 by 11 piece of pattern paper, just some thin paper here, and we're going to turn that into a treat bag in just a minute. But first, let's put together one of the shapes in this kit. I've got the monkey here, already cut out and somewhat assembled, but let's finish putting him together here. Pull my chair over. I used to be a stander when I was working, but now I'm a little bit more of a sitter. That's what getting into your mid-40s does to you. Okay, so let me show you the parts that I've already assembled. Oh, a little stuck. That's okay. So in cutting out the monkey, I've already got his little head assembled, and I love his face. Isn't that cute little mouth? Give him some personality. You've got a chance to be able to kind of tilt the mouth if you want. You can put it straight if you want to, but if you like that little hint of personality, that's a fun way to do it. Okay, so just like all of our kits, we have foam that has double-sided adhesive on both sides. Just going to pull that liner off, and I've already cut his little back or belly. And I always leave the middle section of my foam in because it makes it easier to be able to line up without squishing the shape of the foam out of its natural shape. So just using my fingers around the edges to make sure that's lined up good. And then we're going to give it a good little push. Make sure that it's stuck down well. Okay. All right, so foam stuck to our backer. And then I already did a little topping mix based on toppings that are in the kit, as well as a few of our little fun diamonds. There we go. So that is already mixed up and ready to be added to his body shape. So let's see if I can do it without spilling it. All of it? Sure, why not? Usually I kind of go, it depends on the shape. Half full, 2/3 full. This is probably a little fuller than I would normally do, but it's fun and it's cute. Let's see here. So you can see I've got my trusty Queen & Company sticky note holding on to my acetate. And this is a little trick I like to use if there is some static in the air. Again, I'm in Texas, and so sometimes it's very humid and I don't need to worry about it. But sometimes this acetate can really pick up a lot of static. So I'm going to do it, normally I wouldn't do it right over my product, but I've got this little Queen & Company water bottle that we put together a while ago, and it creates a real fine mist. So you probably can't see it on camera, but it does create a little bit of a fine mist, and I can wave my acetate through. Can you see that? I don't know. Little tiny, tiny droplets get on the acetate, and that makes it really just not as much of a problem for static when you're adding your cover. I just usually spray, wave my acetate through the spray, or through the mist really, and then you don't have toppings jumping at you all over when you're going to seal them in. Nor do they like cling badly to the acetate after you put them in there. They're in and ready to stay in. Let me grab my glue here, and we will glue his little body to, well, his, I guess, tummy, his belly, to his little body that I have back there. And you can see with his body, I have already glued his tail and feet together. Like I said earlier, the feet in this kit are different depending on the animal. And I've got a little glue spot there, but I guess I'm about to cover it up, so it doesn't really matter. Let's see. About there. I like liquid glue because it gives me just a moment or two of being able to adjust, get on straight. Looking at the back can help you see if it's straight or not too. And I overglued just a little, but that's okay because he's going to go on a project in a second. Okay, so topping sealed in and attached to his little body there. Let's glue the decorative die part on top. And like I said, that part is the same for all of the animals in this kit. It is a little different than the one in the Woodlands kit. It's the same concept, but it's not the same shape. These animals are a little bit bigger. That way, if you actually use them together, like if you have the Woodlands kit and you use them with this kit, the size proportions will seem a little bit right. I mean, obviously an elephant and a raccoon, but the elephant will be bigger than, say, your raccoon, which might help it to look a little bit more normal. Okay, cover on. They're not a lot bigger than the Woodlands kit, just a touch. Also, the body shape's a little different for these animals too. In order to accommodate all of the various animal shapes that we wanted to put in this kit, we had to change up the shape a little bit so that it would work. I'm going to take a small amount of leftover foam from the middle, and I'm going to use that to help pop up our little monkey head here. Let's use this side. Give it some support. We don't want it falling, getting smushed on our card here. So a little bit of that extra foam, so it'll be about the same height. And then we'll take this and let's see if we can get it. What do you think about there? Glued on. Looking good. Okay. Now our monkey is all assembled and ready for our project. Okay. So first things first, though, we are actually going to use him on a treat bag, but I wanted to show you a little card idea first. We won't actually glue and assemble this because that would take a while, but you can see I used that new die cutting guide that's coming out with Foundations 26 and 27. And in the die cutting guide, you do some things differently, right? You cut from the middle to save paper and to make your paper stretch. Let's see. And I've got a picture over here so I can remember how to put it together. But this is one of the potential options in that die cutting guide for these new foundation dies. So maybe we do have time. Maybe I can glue fast. We'll see here. You can see on a lot of my samples that I did add a little pizzazz to the back of my card fronts or to my card fronts by using some of our background dyes, and just to give it a little texture. I love the crispness of a white or solid colored background, but sometimes it's nice to have that bit of texture just to add some interest and keep it from being a little bit boring. So here we go. Let's add some of our papers here. There. Where did I put it? There we go. All right, so right to the middle of our card here, actually just up a touch from the middle. I'm going to glue that on to our background. Let's see. Let's go next with our fun little scalloped piece towards the bottom here. This is a nice big scallop. We have other scalloped pieces in the foundation dies, but this is a nice big one, which is really great for showcasing something with a little bit more of a pattern on it. Like, I love the way this floral paper looks here on this wide circular border here, this wide scalloped border. Lay that straight. Okay, and now I'm going to layer these. I'm going to actually put a little bit of glue along the bottom here. And then I'm going to take this blue piece and go on top of it. I'm just creating a little bit of a border here, but I want to be sure that they stay together and make it easier to show how much of that striped paper I want to show. I don't want the whole thing to show, just a little bit of it peeking out from behind. So let's glue that on there. And then we'll add that across the top of our scalloped piece, just to kind of finish it. About there. Oh, wait. I got ahead of myself. Forgot. We have this big, rounded rectangle piece that our little monkey is going to live on. Well, actually, he's not, because I'm not going to glue him down, because we're going to save him to put him on the treat bag. But if I was going to add him to the card, he would live on this scalloped rectangle. So let's put that down right about there. Okay. And now this border piece is going to kind of cover up the very bottom of that. Go up just to the base of that rounded rectangle. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, so now we have a little home where we could add our little monkey. And I have cut out some various flower pieces here, as well as a sentiment banner and some extra flowers. So let me show you how that would come together. I've got this fun striped piece up here. It's kind of going to house our sentiment piece. So this sentiment is short and sweet. You can see it's shorter than a lot of the ones, well, probably than all the ones in the other foundation dies, because it's different than those. But it's perfect for the sentiments in these kits, because I tried to fit a lot in there with 8 different animals and wanting to give you a couple different options for each animal. These are not as big as some of the other sentiment stamps, and so they really fit well on a lot of these smaller banner dies. We've got a few similar ones of different lengths in the other kits, but this one is kind of nice because it fits a lot of these simple ones. One-liner instead of a double 2-line sentiment, like that. So if you've ever been like, oh, I just need that banner piece a little shorter, you will love Foundations 26 and 27, since they give you a few of those. Okay. And then, let's see, what time is it? I've been talking a long time. Sorry, so excited. So many things going on I'm so excited about. But this little flower would go down here. Actually, right about here. So we're going to cover his foot up just a tiny bit. And it should have a yellow center, yes. Yellow center right there. And then another small flower cluster over here with another yellow center. This one is what I would call, in the graphic design world, a Z layout. It's one of those layouts that's very appealing to the eye for whatever reason. Our brains tend to like a zigzag, a Z look, because it helps our brain move through something. So this particular sketch follows that idea of a Z movement pattern. So I would put these down here. And now again, I'm not going to glue all this down here because I just wanted to show you what one of these cards could potentially look like if we were to assemble it together. You know I like a lot of that dimension in the flowers. I use a double-sided tape, a double-sided, like a 3M Scotch foam tape to give myself dimension there. And if you look at the side of my card, I don't know if it'll focus or not, you can see I have several layers. This one actually has 3 layers of foam tape to give it that extra little bit of dimension. Because when you have one of these shakers on there, you already have a bunch of dimension. I like to pop up other elements to get closer to that same height. It makes it seem more cohesive to me to have the heights similar. All right, take a drink, catch a breath here. On to the treat bag. So I'm going to take my little monkey off of this and dump all of that back in my little dish to keep track of for later. And let's use this one now. Move some things out of the way. Okay, actually, first thing we're going to have to do is do some scoring. So let me bring my scoreboard over. Can you see that okay? Probably. So this is just my really old, ancient, been in my craft room forever scoreboard. And I have taken an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, just something I pulled out of my stash from probably decades ago. It's been around a while. And it's a very thin paper. I actually recommend something just a little bit thicker than this, but this was the right color, so we went with it. And as long as you are careful in your scoring, it'll work out well. So let me go back to the template. This is the treat bag template that I posted in the Facebook group. I just posted it as an image, but I'll put it in the files after I'm done tonight. That way, if you want to actually download it and print it out, it makes it easier. But you can see what it says for instructions. It's very simple. Use an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper or cardstock. Score and fold on the dotted lines and cut on the red lines. So our red lines are down here, but we're going to score first and then cut. So first mark is 1.5 inches, and I'm going to gently and carefully, without punching through the paper, score that line so I can fold on it in a bit. And then 3 3/4. Get that line. If you don't have a scoreboard, you can still do this. You just need to do a little bit more measuring. You'll grab your ruler, make some dots, and then use a ruler to go ahead and connect those dots, and then you can fold on the lines that you can draw between those dots. Okay, 6 3/4. Let's go ahead and get that one. Score it all the way down. All right, and then the last one is 9 inches. So at the 9-inch mark, go ahead and give that a nice score too. Make sure I get it all the way down. Okay, so when I flip it over, maybe you can see it better on the reverse side. Okay, the other thing we need to do is we need to get that bottom line that is 1.5 inches. So I'm going to stick this back. Actually, turn it over to the same side though. 1.5 inches is right here. Let's go ahead and grab that score line. Okay. So now that I've got that scored, it's much easier to see where I'm going to do my cuts. And I think somebody in the comments mentioned that, yeah, you might have a paper trimmer with a score blade. That obviously would work as well. And we'll go ahead and cut up to that line. This is going to form the base of our treat bag. I'm going to be careful not to go past that line, really. A tiny bit won't matter, but don't really want to go past that line, so carefully go up to it. Or if you are using a paper trimmer with a score blade, you can switch out to that regular blade and just cut it like that. Okay, now we've got our flaps that are going to form the bottom of our treat bag. Let me move the scoreboard out of the way. And you can go ahead and fold on those score lines so that you can get the shape of your bag going. One, two, three, four. Okay. Now, if you fold it over to what's going to be the back side of our bag, you can see that these two pieces here, if you did it properly, are going to overlap. okay? And actually, you're going to want the smaller piece to overlap this slightly larger one. So when it's a bag, it'll look like this. But if you want your seam to be right down the middle, which looks a little nicer, you're going to put a little adhesive on this short, smaller flap. I'm going to use my ATG gun for that. And just give ourselves a little band. You have a 1/2 inch of overlap, so plenty of room for adhesive. All right, and that should line up. If you got it straight in your scoring, it should line up real well. And now you have the basics of your bag with a little flaps at the bottom that you're just going to bend inward. And let's see, let's do the side ones first. There we go. And we'll tuck that one underneath because it's not quite as pretty as the rest of them. So I'm going to put a little bit of this score tape on the very bottom edge of these larger tabs so that they will stay put. And then here is that other one. Okay. So let's bend those in. And then you can put your hand on the inside like this. So I'm going to push it down against my table. And then I can push down on those flaps. Okay. Somebody said I lined up the pattern correctly. Well, pretty close. Hard to make that part perfect since it may not line up with our markings. All right, then the last step is you can decide how you want to close it, okay? You can just pinch the top closed. You can fold it over and then just staple it if you're going to keep it basic. Or here's one I did earlier. You can take a hole punch and punch some holes up at the top and tie some ribbon through it. In this one, I even used a small piece of paper I scored on those same lines and just wrapped it around for a little bit of extra oomph there. Since I've just got you guys here right now, I'm going to just staple it. Grab my stapler. So, not as pretty, but for the sake of time, we're just going to staple that one close. If you're making something that maybe is for a class, like if you got kids in school, you might want to make a bunch of these, and you might want to make it simple because they're just going to rip them open anyways, but this is a nice way to do it. It uses one piece of paper, and then you don't have to worry about how much time it took since you're not making it for someone who's going to care how it opens. But if you are making it, maybe baby shower or some other fun treat bag that you're just giving away to a small group, maybe it's worth the effort of adding that extra holes and ribbon. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this treat bag is I have taken this large oval die, and it is from Foundation 13, and I'm going to attach it to the front of the bag eventually after I get it decorated. So first we're going to decorate it, and we're going to do that by taking our cute little monkey that we designed earlier and get some good glue on there, as well as pull off the liner on that little piece of foam supporting his head. And we're going to add him right to the middle of that oval. This oval in Foundation 13 is really a great size for these little characters in this kit. And then, let's see, about there, I want to see placement. I've got some little flowers here that I cut out from that kit. I wasn't too sure exactly what I would do with them. Some of them are leftovers from creating cards. They've already got some foam tape on them. But I kind of like the idea of maybe adding a little touch of pink in there. So let me grab my foam tape. I buy in massive rolls. This one's actually getting kind of small on me. Good thing I have another giant roll over there to make up for it because I use a lot of foam tape. Let's go ahead and add a couple of flowers here, just around our cute little monkey, kind of playing off some of the colors that we put inside of him. And we'll add that one up there, and then maybe another little set down here. And add it down here for contrast, right about there. Yeah, just something simple. And then let's grab some bling to put in the middle of those flowers here. Let's see, one of my favorites is Goosebumps. I have some of those handy here. Let's see what would look good in the middle there. Maybe some of this, maybe kind of yellowy orange one, maybe. Cute. do a couple of those. Okay. Now, obviously, you could go and add, additional things, whatever you wanted to add there. You could also do a sentiment if you wanted to stamp something underneath, or if you wanted to hang a tag. If you're going to do like this ribbon, it'd be easy to use one of the tags that we have. We have several in the bunch of the foundations that might work. This one's from 7. That would be really cute up there. And you could stamp a little something on there and then add your, just glue that down and add it right to the front of your bag. And now you have a super easy, super cute little treat bag. Let's get him glued on there. I guess her. We've got flowers now. Some pink. Maybe it's a her now, maybe. Okay. Let's get that glued on. Okay. Let that dry for a bit. And now you can see how easy it was to create a super cute, super easy little treat bag. Okay, and if you've hung in with me this long now, I think you ought to be rewarded. Let's see if I can find you something special as a sneak peek here. Because that is the end of the stuff I am introducing tonight. But been with me this long, you should see what we have coming up next. Here is a sneak peek at something coming for Christmas in July. This is a new addition in our Endless line with some new fun frames as well as clothesline. And we've got some great upcoming ideas, not just this for our clotheslines, but here's a sneak peek of one of the first things coming up in the Endless clothesline set. If you like Santa and Mrs. Claus or your elves laundry, you're going to love this kit. It's adorable. The shaker items shake behind everything. So none of these are shakers. The shaker is behind them. You string the clothesline across it. And if you want to, you can even put some of our Endless lights inside, whatever you want to do. But this is going to be a fun one coming up sometime this summer. Okay. I have maybe a minute or two left. Does anyone have a question I haven't addressed yet that you would like to hear from me? Let me go back to my other camera. Let's see. There we go. Now I can actually talk to you. Any questions that you'd like to ask? I'm going to try to hang out for just a couple minutes and see if I missed anything, or if you have questions you'd like to answer that maybe you'd like answered that aren't about what we talked about tonight. Let me know. I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking and what you'd like to see coming up maybe, or you have a question about any of the stuff you saw that I was using tonight that I didn't get to answer. By all means, post it and I will see what I can do here. Right now I'm just reading through the reactions of the sneak peek. Looks like it's going to be popular. I know I'm in love. I can't wait to use it. I don't have it to test yet, but I can't wait to test it. D. Holy guacamole. Love Santa airing his dirty laundry. How much fun are we going to have with this kit? It's going to be awesome. So thanks for coming tonight. I hope you had a chance to do your shopping. I did hear some beeping while I was presenting, which should mean that the products went live and that you have a chance to be able to go and purchase. But thanks for joining me tonight. And I hope you guys do have a great night. I'm still looking to see if there's any questions, but to go scroll through and see later on if I missed anything. Okay, what do you store in the small stacked bins behind you? Okay, stacked bins. I have to see. Oh, probably you mean these. So these over here, let's see. Oh, I've got a chair in the way. Okay, so over here on my desk, I have these little plastic, what are they called? Sterilite containers that are real small, and they have several different things. Let me switch cameras, and I'll show you what they have in them. There's nothing special, just tools, some bling. Let me see if I can get my other camera to show you better. There they are. Okay, so inside of these, I just have some various bling. These ones here are pearls and some of our older blings from just plain rhinestones. Other things of bling in some of these. Just some tools, memorabilia from something else. Let's see. More bling. Over here, this is probably my most used drawer. Just all of those lovely little hand tools that are so helpful. I use this extensively. My little sanded eraser, tweezers. When I'm stamping, I use this a lot to keep my little sentiment strips from moving while I stamp. I don't know, just lots of different tools in there. I've got some of my baker's twine in there, just my favorite colors. Some of our old foils are in here. A lot of my other favorite tools are in here too. If I'm dealing with a lot of static, I might pull out my powder tool and use that. I use my little sorting dishes, my Queen & Company ones, and my old, what were they from? A beading kit. Embossing powders. Just things that I'm going to reach for a lot are up there. So that's what's in there. Let's see. What else? Any other questions I missed? That might be it for tonight. I don't know. I know last time I did a live, or maybe 2 lives ago, I got cut off on the, my microphone got cut off while I was working. Let me see if I can show you. Let's see, will this, maybe if I have to take it down. Some of you asked about my stamp pads. So I'll show you those here. Those are in my top drawer here. I use the little 1-inch stamp pads so I can have lots of colors because I like a lot of colors. So the little mini stamp pads, I use a couple of different brands, mostly Lawn Fawn in here. And then I also really like the Catherine Pooler minis. So I've got a drawer with a lot of those in there. And then when I buy a stamp pad, I put a little sticker on the side and I have a certain stamp that I stamp the color in. Because oftentimes the color, this one's accurate, but sometimes the color on the top is not as accurate. Plus also some of them fade over time. And so I wanted to see what they would actually look like. So that is my mini inks. So let's see. Any other questions? What's a powder tool? Oh yeah, for taming static. You can rub that around the inside of your foam shaker for taming static. Let me put this back up here. Hopefully that got it. There's still a lot of you here. I don't know why you're still here. Don't you have other things to do tonight? I'm trying to think of what else. Okay, what kind of glue are you using with a metal tip? Okay, so this is art glitter glue. I love art glitter glue. I also like the Queen sheer glue for certain things, but I probably use this a little more often. Just paper to paper, it's awesome. This little holder here is something I found on Amazon. I'm not sure who makes it. It's in Spanish. Mi tienda de arte. Maybe somebody who speaks Spanish can help us out with that. It was just a cheap little holder. I know that you can buy 3D printed ones on Etsy that are a little more fun. But I have a small silicone pad in there. I think the silicone pads were advertised as like for fake eyelash holding. I don't know. I don't use that, but I cut a small pad to go down in there because I felt like it didn't quite stop the glue or the air from drying it out completely. So I just took one, cut it in a circle, and I keep that down there because it really does stop up the glue really nicely, and that way you can keep going while you're working. Let's see. How do you store your kits? That's a great question, Amy. Or, well, I just scrolled. I don't know who asked that question. Kits. Okay, well, let's talk about that. I wonder if this will aim all the way up. I have 2 ways of storing kits, and it depends on their size. If it's a full specialty kit, sorry, I know that thing is loud when I try to get my phone camera out of there. Okay, whoops, sorry, don't want to drop it. This is how I store specialty kits. They are in 6-inch Irish boxes based on the large kits. I also have 4x6 and 5x7 photo boxes that I store smaller things like shape shakers and shaped cards and stuff in. I've got a pretty good collection going up here now. But let me pull one of them down and I'll show you an example of how this is put in here. So this is the On the Farm kit. I'm sorry, it's a little shaky with I'm hand holding, but in here I'll have all the pieces to the kit. And usually, now that our kits have die or shapes that have a lot more pieces to them, I usually go through and bag up by shape the pieces. Like this is the chicken in that kit. I use little 3x3 or sometimes 3x4 plastic baggies. Again, just you can buy them in bulk real cheap on Amazon. And so I usually go through when I'm using a kit and I sort them by shape. That way when I pull out my die cutting guide, it's just really fast and easy to go through, grab my bag, and make whatever shape it is I'm intending to make. So, the rest of it is just kind of thrown in there. It's just, extra toppings and the stamp pads and the paper pads. I like the 6x6 pad or boxes because they actually fit your paper pads in there. That's part of the reason that the shaped shaker kits are in boxes like this, because they don't have a paper pad, and so I don't need to worry about keeping it big enough for paper pads. I do also have these are IKEA shelves, and I've got my door in the way here. But in this one, I can open it just a little. I've got more of my paper pads, so I don't store them always in the kit, but I often do store them like that in their kits. I like having the papers that match together. All right, anyone still here? Man, 150. Go home, people. I'm surprised you find this interesting, but okay, what size are the plastic containers on the top shelf? Okay, those are 4x6. Most of them are 4x6 photo cases. There's one that's 5x7. I usually have shaped cards in there because those tend to be a little bit bigger. Let's see, what else have we got? Gail says she bags up her dies as well. Use a square snack bag. Yeah, snack bags are perfect for that too. Let's see. Maybe I got it now? No, we don't have anything else to do tonight, Lynn. We clear our calendars and put our husbands, kids, and significant others to bed early. You're smart. Okay. Joanne, you want to hang out with your entertainment pals. I don't know if I have anything else to tell you tonight. Maybe since some of you saw this, I'll show you these. These are slick writers. So if you ever did puff paint or dimensional paint, I mean, I remember when I was a teenager, I got into those puff paints that you could dot on things. You could use your iron to make them puff up. They were fun. But I use these a lot. If you don't want to dot the eyes of your animals with those little tiny dies, let's see if I can aim that down. The dies for eyes are often small, and you can use a small piece of bling or something like that, or you can just take this little puff paint. I showed you this in some other lives, and just dot that. These also make nice little accents on various things. It came in a rainbow kit, even though I only really wanted kind of the black and the white. But I have the whole thing, and once in a while I pull them out. I don't know. Any other questions, or should I call it good for tonight? Let's see. Amy says she puts her dies and stamps in stamp pockets and magnets papers all together on a shelf and foam in the photo holders. I've seen other people do that. Works out real well. Okay. When do we find out the winners of the giveaways? We'll definitely post those in our Facebook royalty group, probably in a day or two. Marianne is in charge of that. We enjoy watching you and hopes a little inspiration rubs off. Well, if you take the Summer Loving class, you won't have to write anything rubbing off. You just have to put it together the way we tell you to. Everyone have a great night. I think we're going to go ahead and call it good for tonight. But thank you so much for joining me. I hope you had fun. I hope it was worth your time. Can't wait to see you on National Scrapbook Day. We have lots happening for that. We'll be posting this very specific details of the card contest, of the new products, of the classes, what time the Summer Loving Creative Card Kit class will be. It'll be a lot of fun. So until then, you guys all have a fantastic, crafty, 2 weeks? And we'll see you later. Good night, everybody.